Hey, it's Katie, and welcome back to my booktube channel. So today's video, I will be watching Shadow and Bone episodes 5 and 6, and I've already done reactions / reviews for the first 4 episodes, so if I remember, I will link those below. But I filmed that all in one day, and I didn't realize until I went back to edit that Netflix doesn't let you screen record or screenshot anything. So when I went to look at my screen recording from my laptop, it was just a black screen the whole time. And that's why the first 2 videos, I tried to insert pictures of what I was talking about to, save it as best as I could so you guys could still see some of my reactions. But I know that's not really like a typical reaction, but I promise I've done so much research and I've tried to download apps, I've looked at different websites, and it still does not work. At least all the things I have tried. So these next few reactions will be more of reviews. So I will tell you guys the time code that I stop on and what I'm talking about. I will try to describe the scene to kind of paint the picture for you guys, and hopefully that's good enough. I will also probably still try to insert pictures if I can remember or find something that represents what I'm talking about, but hopefully that works. I still really want to show you guys my reaction and my thoughts, and I really like doing this for you guys, but I do understand it's kind of disappointing that I don't have the scene going, but I have tried so hard, and I'm also very disappointed that it's not working. So if you have any tips for the future or any websites or anything you usually use, please let me know down below because I really want this to work out. But let's jump right into it. We will start with episode 5. And it's also been a couple weeks since I've watched the show because I've been trying so hard to find a way to make it better. So I don't really remember where we left off. So I guess we'll find out. Whoa. That's cool. I love that the Shadow and Bone logo at the beginning of every episode is different. That's so fun. So this episode starts with Mal stumbling into the first army camp. It's literally only a minute and 20 seconds in, but that's really oh yeah, because he was out looking for the stag with his 2 buddies, and then it all went to crap and they got attacked, and that's how the last episode kind of ended. Okay, I'm remembering now. It's been a little bit. That's very interesting. Okay. Off to a strong start. Okay, so I haven't gotten very far since the last thing I said. We're only 2 minutes and 45 seconds in, but we have the Six of Crows crew dressing up to be part of that acrobat company. With the Nej doing all that tightrope stuff. Not tight ropes. What are those things? What are those things called? The silks. Is that what they're called? I don't know. But we had a Nej doing cool tricks on that last time, and Jesper did the whole fire, looking through a mirror and firing behind him. So kind of like a circus act group. But this is their way into the little palace, I think. Right? Or the castle. Oh my gosh, it's been too long. I can't remember. But we also there's a little distraction, and then we had Kaz sneaking in as one of the guards, and it's just really funny. I don't know why that was so funny to me, but I was not expecting him to be dressed up with one of those like really fuzzy like hats. I'm here for it.
They're lovely.
Okay, so I'm like 5 minutes and 55 seconds in, and Jenya was helping Alina get ready for the little demonstration, and David, I think that's his name, right? The little the fabricator, he knocked on the door, and Jenya had to introduce him, and they're both trying so hard not to look at each other. It's really awkward and adorable, and it's very endearing. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I love that because I feel like the show is very intense and sometimes very dark. And so when you get those like cute moments, it warms my heart. I love Jenya. So I am 15 minutes and 30 seconds in, and this is probably like my favorite image of the episode so far. They're like in a carriage. It's the Six of Crows characters. We have Jesper looking how he usually looks, but then we have Kaz in his guard uniform and Inej in a leotard for her like acrobatic performance, and they all just look so funny. Like I feel like it's like Halloween, you know, they're all like kind of dressed up, and I don't know why, it just makes me giggle and I wanted to share. Okay, so I am 17 minutes in, and Alina just helped General Kerrigan, I can't call him that. She helps Darkling put his kefta on, and I'm obsessed with it. I know we've seen it before, but I feel like we got really up close to the back of it, and it's so detailed and amazing. It's probably my favorite article of clothing in the show, but it just looks so cool and intricate, and I love it. Are they gonna kiss? Oh my gosh, they're kissing. Did that happen in the book? Now I can't remember. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're 18 minutes and 15 seconds in. The Darkling and Alina kissed. I feel like this is an alert. I'm like, hey. Okay, I have very conflicting emotions because I loved the Darkling in the books. I still didn't really have somebody that I really shipped Alina with. Nikolai was my favorite out of all the people that she could have been shipped with. But I also loved the Darkling as a character, and I kept going back and forth with whether or not I shipped the Darkling and Alina. But I feel like he might have been my favorite ship for her by the end. But then in the show, I see them together and like they just kissed, but I didn't get butterflies. I kind of felt a little creeped out. And I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because he's like super powerful and it seems like he's kind of using her, which like I get is kind of exactly what he's doing. But like, I don't know. I expected to like him more in the show. I feel like some people feel this way because I was looking at other people's thoughts for the first few episodes. And I think people were saying that they really enjoyed the Darkling in the books, but they preferred like Mal with Alina in the shows, which I feel like maybe I'll be one of those people because I really didn't like Mal in the books. I liked him as a friend, but I didn't think that he was a good fit for Alina as a romantic partner. But I'm kind of liking him in the show, so it's very interesting. I'm 20 minutes and 15 seconds in, and I really hope that's the last we saw of that scene. Okay, so it was Jesper flirting with the stable hand, and they were flirting for a while, and then now they're having this makeout session against a wall. And although I love Jesper and I want him to be happy, he needs to be with Wylan, who I know is not in this season, but I feel like he'll be in the next season, hopefully. And so this feels wrong. Like, obviously Jesper's probably been with people before Wylan, but I definitely ship them together, so I can't root for Jesper in the stable hand. And I feel like it's just a distraction so they can steal that horse, but still not here for it. The only ship in this episode that I'm here for so far, other than Kaz and Inej, although they haven't really had a lot of scenes together, is Jenya and David. That's like the one couple I'm really rooting for. We are now 28 minutes into episode 5, and Alina just had her big moment in front of the king and the queen. She put on her little light show. It honestly looked really cool, and I'm so glad that it did. I'm always worried that the powers are going to look super cheesy, but I think it looked really cool. And I love that we had Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows characters in the same room. That still makes me so happy. And to watch Inej, to watch her face when she saw what Alina was able to do, just warms my heart. I love Inej and I just want to protect her. Now we are 30 minutes in and Alina is just leaving the demonstration and she bumped into the apparat. Is that how you say his name? I always read words and I don't know how to pronounce them and then I'm nervous to say them. I'm going to call him the apparat, but I don't know how you say it. Anyway, he's creepy. I feel like I said this in one of my other reactions. He creeped me out in the book and I mean, the person they cast as him perfectly represents the vibe. But it's creepy. He just seems slimy and like you can't trust him and he's too pale. I mean, I'm also very pale, but he just, I don't know. I don't like him. I really don't want to see too much of him in the show. I know he plays a big role in the Shadow and Bone series in book form, but I really hope we don't have to see him too much in the show because he freaks me out. I feel like I'm gonna have nightmares about him.
Do you know how many claim to know the Sun Summoner?
33 minutes in, Mal got into the little palace to meet with the Darkling because he found the stag in the last episode. And he's like, hey, found what you're looking for. And I love that he's literally staring the Darkling down and he's like, I'm not going to tell you where I found it until you let me see Alina. And honestly, good for him. I mean, to be somebody who, you know, he's just in the army. He doesn't think he has anything special about him other than the fact that he can track basically anything. But he's literally staring down this man that has the power to slice somebody in half without even being near them. And that's a lot of courage. And he obviously really cares about Alina if he's willing to be like, nope, sorry, sucks for you. Show me her first and then you'll get what you want. That makes me really ship them together. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I am Team Mal. Oh my goodness. Okay, how far are we? Minute 36. And the guy, I can't remember his name, the conductor, just went to kidnap Alina in that fitting room. And he held a knife to her throat and she fought back, sliced her throat. She's bleeding out. Then he turned around and went to shoot Jenya because she walked in and he fled. Now he's captured by all the guards as he should be. He was meant to kidnap her, not kill her. And so, you know, she's lying on the ground bleeding out and I was scared until you see her face start to flicker because it's not really Alina. Jenya put the, what are they called? I want to say a glamour, but that's not what it's called, I don't think. She, like, changed somebody else's facial expressions to look like Alina. It was, I think they said her name was Marie, like one of her friends that always wore, like, the blue keftas. And that's still so sad. Like, just slit her throat. I was not expecting that. Also, Jenya totally held her own and kicked butt before she got shot. But she's still chilling, so I don't know if the kefta, like, blocked the bullet. I'm not really sure, but... well, maybe she healed herself. That would make sense. Either way, brutal. Totally unexpected. I mean, I figured this was gonna happen. Okay. We're 39 minutes in. Baghra is trying to have Mal killed. Already killed the other guy he came there with. Because he doesn't want the Darkling. Because Baghra doesn't want the Darkling to know where the stag is. Which I get. Because he's kind of crazy. But Mal's just trying to meet up with his, like, BFF, love of his life, you know? Just chilling. Like, why you gotta throw a knife at the man? There they go kissing again. It literally has only been maybe a half hour since they kissed the first time, but the Darkling and Alina are here. I feel like Mal's gonna walk in. Oh, he picked her up, put her on a table. why do I feel grossed out? Like, he's the perfect Darkling. I was rooting for them in the book, but I don't want this.
Look like you need both hands.
Okay, so we are 47 minutes in, and here's an update. So Baghra, well, the Darkling left Alina in his little, like, war room because he heard that they were trying to attack her. And so he went away. Baghra was like, hey, come this way real quick because, you know, you need to leave before he makes you his slave. And tells Alina everything she needs to know about the Darkling and the fact that he's trying to use her and doesn't really want to destroy the Fold, and that he is actually the one who created the Shadow Fold. So, like, all the history you need to know that we learned in the series, which is great. So now she's running through the tunnels, and then it cuts to the scene where Kaz is trying to escape, and the one of the Grisha that has the fire powers. Can't pronounce any of them. And so he's, like, you know, trying to hide and, like, escape. And then the guy thought he found him, but Kaz, like, wiped his legs out and now has, like, this big, like, pedestal thing that he's basically breaking one of his arms so that he can no longer use his powers. And it's kind of brutal, but I love Kaz, so I'm here for it. Is that messed up? Probably. We are now 49 minutes in, and I feel really bad for Inej because last time I saw you guys, I was saying that Kaz was breaking his arm so that, well, not Kaz's arm, breaking the guy with the fire powers, breaking his arm so he couldn't use his powers. Turns out he only needs one hand to do that. So he was about to throw fire at Kaz, and Inej was up on a balcony, chucked a dagger into his head and killed him. And she does not like killing people, obviously. She's like one of the few people in fantasy books and shows who genuinely does not want to kill anybody. And so she's heartbroken. And Kaz was like, look at me. Just look at me. You saved my life. And I was like, just fall in love, please. Like, the fact that she would kill somebody for Kaz, even though that's like the absolute last thing she ever wants to do, is oddly really sweet. Like, is that messed up to say? I mean, it's not real life, so I think it's fine to say it's sweet that she would kill somebody for him because, I don't know, I'm getting emotional for her. I love her, and I want to protect her at all costs, and she looks so devastated. We are at 52 minutes, and Alina okay, first of all, Jesper's hiding outside because he got the carriage all ready for their escape. And he heard a door open. He turns around. Alina's walking out in, like, normal clothing, not her, like, really fancy kefta. And she literally just walked up to the carriage, opened the back, and got in. And Jesper's face. He's like, I don't know how this worked in our favor, but it's great. And he could not stop laughing. And honestly, same. Like, you have this huge plan, so many things can go wrong, and then the person you're trying to kidnap just walks right into the carriage. Like, that seems like too good to be true. So that was the end of episode 5. It literally ended with Kaz, Inej, and Jesper on the carriage riding away with Alina in the trunk. And that's amazing. I don't know how I was expecting it to end, but that's great. Anytime I see Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows characters in the same frame, I get so excited. Reading the books, I never thought that would happen, that we would see them all together, and they haven't interacted too much yet, but it makes me so happy to see those two worlds collide, especially when it's Alina, because I feel like Alina's my favorite character from Shadow and Bone, other than Nikolai, who we haven't met. I don't know if he'll be in the series either, but it's just, I really enjoyed this episode, and I think the Six of Crows characters are definitely my favorite, especially Jesper. He makes me laugh. Like, he doesn't even have to really do anything. Just his facial expressions bring me so much joy. Also learned that I'm not really shipping the Darkling with Alina. We've gone over that a few times, but I still can't believe it. I'm here for Mal. He's doing great. A bunch of things I never thought I'd say, let's be honest. But I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm very excited to move on to episode 6. So let's jump into that. Alright guys, let's start episode 6. I am very excited to continue today.
Give me half that. I'll get revenge for you. I can get close to Zlatan.
Okay, so we are 4.5 minutes into the episode, and it starts with the conductor being interrogated by the Darkling. And it's interesting because he tries to lie at first, and then the Darkling's like, here's what I think happened. Says exactly what happened. And then the conductor has the audacity to be like, yes, that was a better deal, so I tried to kill her. But if you give me half as much as I was gonna get, I can get revenge for you. Like, dude, you could die any second. Why do you have the audacity to ask for money? Like, 500,000 Kruger. Like, no. How about spare me my life and I'll help you? Or just don't even offer. Also, the Darkling looks like he's ready to kill not just the conductor, but the other people who are trying to take Alina. So I am 9 minutes in, and we finally get to see more of Nina and Matthias. Last time we saw them, Nina was chained up with a bunch of other Grisha on the ship with the Druskella. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's another word I don't know how to pronounce in the Grishaverse. But anyway, they are having a Titanic moment right now because I guess the ship sank because of the storm, and Nina woke up clinging to a piece of the ship and then swam over to Matthias on like this plank thing, and she's on it. She woke him up. He flipped out because she's a witch, and according to him. And so now he's choosing to potentially drown instead of lying on the board next to her. And, that's interesting. Definitely a Titanic moment. We are 13 minutes in, and Zoya is talking to the Darkling, and apparently they used to, hook up because she's like, when you were like this, I used to come and, help you out. And I don't ship that either. So apparently I don't ship the Darkling with Alina. I don't ship him with Zoya. So I don't know if I ship him with anybody. I love him as a villain, but I don't know. Netflix Darkling just doesn't hit the same as the book series Darkling, personally. Now I am 16 minutes in, and it is just really sweet because Mal and Alina, they met up again, and the way that they looked at each other, I definitely am Team Mal, and I cannot believe it. Oh my goodness. I am so here for Nina and Matthias. I feel like I didn't respect Matthias enough in the books. I'm really liking his character in the show. I know he's super unlikable, but I think he's such a great character, and watching him and Nina interact is hilarious because they are both insulting each other. It's like the perfect enemies to lovers, a Grisha hunter and a Grisha. Well, witch hunter and a witch is what he says, but it's like the perfect enemies to lovers. And we just got our fur cuddle moment, and it was way better than I would have ever imagined. I thought it was hilarious. It's just, I don't know. I'm rooting for them. I can't put it into words. You definitely have to watch that scene. But it's just really adorable. I guess adorable is not the right word. They're so mean to each other, but I'm definitely here for it. I want to see how they start to care about each other more and more throughout the show because I love that in the books. So 23 minutes and 49 seconds in, and Kaz and Inej are bickering because he's mad at her for letting Alina walk away and for letting her faith come in the way of their job. And they were arguing, and he let it slip that he put the Crow Club basically, what's it called? As like collateral, kind of, so that he could have Inej for this task. And if they don't complete the job, then Helene, is that her name? She gets the Crow Club. And Inej was shocked, and I would be too. It's like honestly really romantic because he's not very open with his feelings, but that shows how much he cares about her. And I'm sure he'll spin it as like that's how much he needed her for the job, but like he obviously cares about her. And I feel like it's really odd that I'm like, oh, how romantic. Like I feel like as book lovers, there's so many random things that we're like, yes, I ship them together. You know, like Nina and Matthias bickering and like hating each other. It's like, yep, totally ship them. Like it makes no sense in the real world, but it's just great.
Ash, fine. But be smart about it.
We are 31 minutes in, and the Darkling and some other Grisha just figured out where Kaz, Inej, and Jesper were hanging out. To be fair, they were just hanging out at a bar. I know they were probably regrouping and trying to figure out what to do, but they didn't escape. So then the three of them went to leave and came face to face with all the Grisha, and it was a very interesting little standoff moment. And so now they're trying to chase them down, and I am still just so excited when I see the crossover between the two series. It keeps blowing my mind. I love it. We are 35 minutes in, and I did not know I needed this scene, but Kaz and the Darkling are having a little standoff. They're just staring each other down, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I'm a little scared, but I'm assuming Kaz gets away because, you know, Six of Crows happens, which is after this. But also, the show changed a lot, so I'm not sure, but I'm excited to see what goes down. We are now in the 36th minute, and Kaz managed to escape. Not surprised. I'm excited, but not surprised. I don't know what he pulled out of his bag, but he like threw it at the ground, and there was a bright flash of light, and the Darkling like used the cut, but it like sliced the barrel and a building instead, and I mean, I'm glad, but the Darkling looks literally, like, dumbfounded. Like, he doesn't look like he knows how it happened. And that's, like, the best look this whole episode. You guys, we are a little less than 44 minutes in, and Nina and Matthias are so cute. So, I forget what, oh, she was talking about, like, would it really be so bad if you liked me? And he was like, I do like you. And then they, like, stared at each other for a while, and then Nina started, like, messing with him. And his laugh and his smile were so sweet. And then they were messing around, and then Nina, like, the ground just dropped, and she almost died. And she was hanging there, and they had a moment where they stared at each other. And you could see Matthias, like, chose to save her. Like, he went against all of his instincts and saved her. And then they introduced themselves to each other and, like, said their real names instead of, like, Witch and, like, Druskella. And it was such a moment. And now he put, like, the fur around her to keep her warm. This is, like, my favorite ship right now. Which is crazy because I liked them in the book, but I did not care as much as I'm caring right now. It's interesting how, like, the different portrayals change my viewpoints. Like, I have different couple opinions in the show than I did while I was reading the books, and I think that's really cool. That is the end of my reaction to episode 6, and I really hope you enjoyed watching my thoughts and, you know, seeing my reaction to certain things. I know that we don't have the clips, but hopefully my reaction was good enough. Please let me know what you guys thought. I am still really loving this show, and I can't wait to watch the last 2 episodes. I'm not ready for this season to be over. I need more, but I really enjoyed it. So Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And if you do subscribe, click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. But thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.